Hello. Today I'm going to talk about the myths related to hair transplant. So hair plays an important role and it shapes our personality. And issues like hair fall, baldness, patchy hair loss or even the recession of the hairline leads to lower self-esteem and even the depression. It affects our looks. So myth 1 is that people say hair transplant is painful. So due to the developments in aesthetic surgeries and hair transplant, it is absolutely painless procedure. Only the scalp is local. We give the local anesthesia around the scalp, and during the procedure you won't feel any pain. Once the effect of the local anesthesia wanes off, there can be a mild discomfort which is easily manageable with some medications by a certified trichologist. Well, the second myth surrounding the hair transplant is that it gives immediate results. Well, after hair transplant, it cannot change your looks overnight. Once the hair is transplanted, after around 1 month, the stem of the hair starts to fall off, but the roots remain and they grow permanently. So after 3 to 4 months or around 6 months, the hair starts growing slowly. And in around 8 to 9 months or one year, it's a full-blown growth. So it basically grows the natural way, the natural hair grows. It has 3 phases: anagen, catagen and telogen. Another myth surrounding the hair transplant is that it gives unnatural results. Well, it's again not correct. If you go to an experienced hair transplant surgeon, he knows it very well how to design a perfect hairline that matches your face and age. And the grafted hair is implanted in such a way at different areas of the scalp. There are different angles. And after around, say, once the hair transplant is done, you can groom your hair naturally. You can wash them, you can cut them, and you can style them as per your needs. So it absolutely depends on the experience of a surgeon. Another myth is that hair transplant gives scars. That's again not correct, because nowadays we don't do too often the FUT technique where a big strip used to be taken from the donor area. Now mostly the surgeons do FUE. In FUE, depending on the size of the punch, but here for example I use 0.7, 0.8 millimeter punch. So there is no scar or a very minimal scar which is never ever visible. So you need not to be afraid of any scars because the hair transplants if you go to some good experienced hair transplant surgeon. Now another myth is that like the hair transplant, you can't do hair transplant for the older age people. And that's again not correct, because it depends. If there's no underlying medical condition which can be a possible contraindication for the hair transplant, and a patient or the person has good donor area, any patient of any age group can go for the hair transplant surgery. Another question, which is another myth in fact, is that hair transplant is only for men. That's not correct. Nowadays baldness is quite commonly seen in females also, and hair transplant gives equally the same good results in both the genders. So a woman with baldness, if appropriate candidate, can also opt for the hair transplant. So the takeaway from this video is that hair transplant is absolutely a painless procedure. It gives beautiful results. It gives back your dignity and gives back your looks. You shouldn't have any apprehensions while opting for hair transplant. There's no scars because of the recent techniques with hair transplant. The only thing is that you need to go to an experienced hair transplant surgeon before you, and don't only look for the prices. Thank you.